So I'm just going to jump straight into this story time. I'm Ebony, and this story time is about how I fell in love with a federal inmate. I'm going to start back from the beginning. We were childhood friends. We met on the playground where I'm from. We were like 8 or 9 years old, and we always had a crush on each other. So he was my first boyfriend, my first walk in the park, the first guy to walk me to get something to eat and pay for it, the first guy that I stayed on the phone with for 3 to 4 hours, just laughing, joking, kicking a boo-boo. We used to just enjoy ourselves. We were from the same neighborhood, like I said, childhood friends. As we got older, we kept a relationship, we kept a bond. We wasn't girlfriend and boyfriend, but we always had a close bond where we could talk to each other and tell each other the truth. And we were like connected into my like teenage years. And in my teenage years, I went my way, he went his way. Fast forward, we came back and we connected again. And we were never boyfriend and girlfriend after that, but we always had a tight bond. He was the first person that took me on my first expensive date. I never forget it. We went and ate down the wharf on a boat, and we just really had a good time. And from there, we just maintained a relationship. At least every week we would see each other, talk, bye. In the midst of all that, he wound up getting into some trouble. And he went to jail. Initially, he was in doing his time. He was supposed to come home. He had got 10 years and wound up doing 7 and was supposed to come home. But some things had happened and he had got caught up into another case, a federal case. In a federal case, he went to court and he wound up getting 30 years. So in the midst of all this, while he's doing his time, we keeping in contact. I always send him pictures. He'd call me, check on me, no matter where I was at or how many times I got my number changed. This man always found a way to get in contact with me. So during his time in jail, we just always stayed connected because we were good friends. Before anything, he was always my friend, somebody I could talk to, somebody I just felt very comfortable with telling the truth throughout my life, whatever happened. So that's how that went for years, because he's doing years now he's doing time. So fast forward a couple years ago, like 5 years ago, we got back in contact. And we was just kicking it, having a good time, enjoying each other's company. You know how they do when they call. So I'm just enjoying this company because I still like him, like I still got a crush on him or something, because as soon as we started back talking, it was just like we was kids again. We just talking, enjoying each other's company, not saying no relationship, not saying no nothing, because he was already doing what he was doing. I'm out here, I'm living my life, I'm doing what I'm doing. But we would just talk. So it went from us keeping in contact to us talking every single day to a couple times a day to us just really, really enjoying each other's company. And there's time going past now, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, we've been back in contact. But rewind, again, we never girlfriend, boyfriend, we never nothing. We just enjoying each other's company, or whatever. So like, just having a real good time, because but I'm like, I don't love this man, this jail talk. You don't never want to get caught up in a jail talk. Because you think, even though I know him personally, I had a relationship with him, we've been together, just everything. In my mind, I'm still thinking like, I ain't taking this man serious, he in jail. And he still got to do more time, like I'm not paying him no mind. But as I'm living my life, I'm going through stuff, losing jobs, getting money, losing money, life situation happening. I started my business, it was working, it wasn't working, through everything that I'm dating guys, coming back, telling him what happened on the date, how the guy was a geek or a clown, and we just cracking up. And he really giving me advice like, well, do this or do that, or say this to him or say that to him. And I'm just like, yeah, so everything he's telling me is like the truth, and I'm just enjoying his company. We just kicking it. I mean, I'm even made friends with the people that's in there with him. Like, we just every day having a good time. We just having a good time, enjoying each other's company. And I'm still like enjoying this company, getting used to talking to him and looking forward to talking to him and just wanting to be there as a good friend. He never asked me for nothing. I never asked him for nothing. But here and there, he might, send me some flowers, send me some chocolates, or just do something real nice. And here and there, I might put some money on his books or buy him something or send him something or make sure he got pictures. We just maintaining a healthy relationship because he is in jail and he is my friend. So I want to support him. In the meantime, he supported me as well. Like, we just supporting each other. So, because I'm still in my head, like, I don't love this man. I don't want to get caught up, but I'm catching feelings as time goes by. I'm not telling my friends. I'm not telling nobody at work. I'm not talking about him to nobody because I know the shame that a woman can feel when she fall in love with an inmate. Because people are so hard on women that date men in jail or fall in love with men in jail or stick by a man in jail, not knowing that these men are good men. They got into some trouble, they made some mistakes, but they still men. And a lot of them are good men. A lot of women go through 19 relationships out here on the street and got 19 wounds on their heart when they could have just been there for their man and went to jail. But I know how it go. Nobody want, put their life on hold or this, that, and the third. So me, I never brung it up to nobody. I'm just enjoying his company. He enjoying my company. To this day, I still never really, I don't have no close girlfriends. I have females that I know, but I don't have no females that I could call if it's crunch time or if I need something or nothing like that. So I really don't feel comfortable sharing my personal business with nobody anyway. So I still didn't tell my family, my friends. The only person that know is my son because he's the only person that matters, most importantly. And my son still have remembered him from his childhood because he used to always come to my house, like I said. Like, I had my own place since I was 16. So he used to always come to my place, the inmate that I fell in love with, and we just had a close bond. So I'm telling my son, so I didn't even realize it. My son like, man, you in love with him? I'm like, you geeking, I don't love him, we just cool. He like, no, man, you got feelings for him. I can tell because you don't like nobody. Like, you super mean or whatever. So I'm like, for real? So he like, yeah, like, you catching feelings for him. So, I want to rewind back in time to one of our encounters. I'm going to tell you how we used to kick it when we was kids. He used to call me because my sister had her own place when I was young too. So I used to stay at my sister's house like all summer for real. So he used to call up my sister's house like, come down the hill. So I come down, walk down the hill. Because if you from Baltimore, Maryland, I used to be on Emerson and Fulton. And he used to be down by them, Emerson and Curry. So we used to meet in the middle, which is Highland Park Middle School. And there's a huge park in front, a huge park on the side, and it's like a stairwell in the middle. We used to meet in a cut on the stairwell. It'd be like 10, 11 o'clock. We'd be out there chilling till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, just laughing, joking, and kicking. And we kids, we having a good time. We like, I don't know, I think we was 11 or 12 years old. We just having a good time, just chilling. We used to laugh and talk, tell each other about, what we wanted to do when we get grown. Our dreams, stuff like that. He wasn't a big talker, but I've always been a big talker. So, we used to just be kicking it. And then at the end of the night, he would walk me down to Murphy Homes to get pizza. And then he would, then he would walk me home. He used to always walk. And it was crazy because where he was from, in the Murphy Homes, they used to have their little mess, so he wasn't even supposed to be walking me down there to get nothing to eat, but he used to do this on a regular, like every night. I used to get my little snack, a juice, and a slice of pizza, and I'd eat and chill, and then he'd walk me home. And I lived like a couple blocks up from the park, and this is what he used to do. And we used to give each other a little kiss, a little hug, bye. You know how it is when you're young. I was still a virgin. I don't know what he was doing, but I wasn't into that. And you know, he used to call me and we used to just chill. Me and him and his homeboys, because I'm from down there too. I used to live down there when I was younger, so I know all his friends. All his friends know me, and we used to just be on the phone for hours, because this was like back in the day when guys used to have ducks and pigeons and all that crazy stuff. So I just be on the phone with them cracking up, crying, laughing, because our neighborhood is hilarious. Our slang, our conversations, how we play. So we can just be having a good time. So this was our bond in the beginning, moving into now, me falling in love with a federal inmate. So, like I said, we just kicking it. He had a little situation going on, so I wasn't I wasn't interfering with none of that, because that's not my thing. I'm just here as a friend, as a support system. And he's like somebody I love, somebody that I always love, somebody that I always been passionate about. So I'm not going to turn my back on him because he in jail. I don't care what he connected to. So we catching feelings. I give y'all the details in another part of this, because I'm gonna make this into a little story time. So every woman that fell in love with an inmate, federal, state, whatever, can feel comfortable coming on my page to ask questions, to talk about it, and whatever may have. So like a year and a couple months ago, he asked me to marry him, and I'm like, what? I'm not paying him no mind. Like, boy, I'm not marrying you. He was like, ever since we was kids, I just always loved you, and I said if I was to ever settle down, I would want us to have a fair chance, because when we connected the first time we was kids, we always loved each other. But I think we could work. I think me and you could work. He like, I really love you. I love everything about you. I love how you carry yourself. I love what you're doing. I love where you're going. I just love the woman you became. Because remember, he knew me my whole life, like from a wild horse up until now. And I will say, I have done a complete 360. Because I used to be out there living my life. So I was like, boy, I ain't taking you serious. I ain't paying you no mind. So he was like, man, start looking for rings. If you like a ring, just let me know. So I'm still not paying him for no mind. Months go past. I don't look for no ring. I'm not paying him no mind. I'm just living my life. Blah, blah, blah. So one day he was like, what you doing? I was off work. I'm like, nothing. He like, man, go up Columbia Mall and look in the store. They might have a ring you like, because I didn't try everywhere. At this point, I had looked a few places. I had looked at like Jared, just a couple jewelry places. I can't think of them now. But he was like, just go up Columbia Mall and look in the store. I got a relationship with the lady already, and see if it's something you like. And I'd be damned, because I told him I only wanted a star, a heart, or a rose for my ring, because I just didn't want that square ring that all the females get. I hate it with a passion. And lo and behold, I go in there and she got a heart ring that I love. So I was like, I like this one. He like, you like it? I was like, yeah. He like, tell her you want it. I was like, I'm not telling her I want this ring. I was like, this ring like $5,000, whatever. I said, I'm not telling her I want this ring. He like, man, just tell her you want the ring. If you want the ring yours. So I'm laughing like, is you serious? Because I can't believe it. I'm like, what is he talking about? Like, how did we get here? So my son was like, you like it? I was like, yeah, I love this ring. This is basically what I wanted, because I wanted something different. I didn't want to go somewhere or be at work and somebody got the same ring I got. So they was like, we have it was some kind of sale, a bridal sale or something going on. And they was like, this ring half price, yada, yada, yada. The jeweler here, let me see if he could fit it for you today. Lo and behold, the jeweler said he could fit it for me that day. So I wound up getting my engagement ring, which is, if y'all could see, a heart. Very different. Nobody's gonna have this ring. So when I came home, man, I was eating crabs and doing what I was doing. And he was like, who are they with you? I was like, me and my son. He was like, let me talk to you for a minute. Step in the room. So I'm like, what? So when I got in the room, he proposed to me. He was like, man, I love you. I love everything about you. I want you to be my wife. I want us to give each other a fair trial. Like, I want us to see if we can work He was like, I don't got that much time left. I'm going to be home soon. So it ain't like you got to sacrifice too much of your life, because I know that would have been a lot to ask for when you was young. He was like, but let's just give each other a try. He was like, will you be my wife? He was like, you my best friend. Like, will you be my wife? And I was like, I didn't know what to say. So I was like, yeah, I'll be your wife. We can give it a try. But I'm still having doubt in my mind because I'm scared and I don't know what's going on, because I know he had some stuff going on and yada, 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 or whatever. So, but I know I care about him. I knew if I was going to ever take a leap in faith or give anybody a chance, I know for a fact it would possibly be him. Because we be kicking it, just enjoying each other company. He like makes me laugh. He know when I'm going through something. He know how to motivate me to do anything that I want to do. This man think that I'm Superwoman. Anything, he think I could do it better. So I'm like, all right. Oh, rewind. Before all this, he had a conversation with my son. And he asked my son, you know, he loved his mother, and he asked my son, could he marry me or whatever? But I'm not doing all this or whatever. So I'm like, so I said yes. So now we going into 4.5 years, maybe 5 years of being in each other's life. And I'm not going to tell you that sometimes it don't get hard being in love with an inmate, federal or state, whatever, just somebody incarcerated in jail, because they can't be there for you like you would want them to be there for you. But you know, things happen, like they might run into a situation where they could get more phone time or different things of that nature, so y'all can bond and y'all can grow. And then things might happen where they might run into a few things financial. They going to help you, they going to back you. So that's another issue, not with my man anyway. My man is pretty much a giver. He's been always like that since he was a child. When he was young, he was taking care of his family. And then he was taking care of his women, and then he's been taking care of people's kids. Like, he's just that type of person. He a real one. So, but now it's like, I love this man. I'm looking forward to us having a life together. And I really fell in love with a federal inmate. And we try to talk every day if we can, but you know how jail is. They got their ups and downs, yada, yada, yada. But how I stay strong in the midst of all of this, before I was with him, I was single for almost 10 years. I had just gave up on love because of the things that I went through in other situations. So I was just focused on my mind. All I want to do is get money, get ahead, and live better. In the process of all this, I'm a parent. My son going through high school, college, doing what he do in his life, so I'm very supportive of him. I started my own business, I got into that, and I just was busy, just trying to upgrade myself and just live the life that I want and just make myself happy, because being as though I had a baby young, and I just always been full of responsibilities. Now that my child is grown, it's like I had to get to know me all over again. So I wasn't really worried about no relationship. So I think that helped me a lot in this situation, because I was focused on me. And that's how I stay focused, even being there for him. Like, it don't come to my mind that I want to run and sleep with a guy, because my value done went up so high. I'm so expensive. I'm like a Louis bag or a Chanel bag now. I'm not in the Target bag section. Like, so the way I look at men and what I value from men and what I want a man to value in me, I'm not saying it out here. Like, I'm not saying nobody that I'm attracted to, that I want touching my skin, that I want to even date. Even in the process of me talking to him, I went on a few dates and it turned me off completely. Like, I don't care how old a man is, how young a man is, it's like, what's up here? I'm a grown woman. You can't play with me like you can play with anybody else. You can't talk to me like you talk to them. So it's like, I'm very turned off. So it's easy for me to love on my man and be supportive and, you know, hold myself at a certain value, because look at the options. Look what's out here. I don't see nothing that I want. I done tried corporal, doctor, whatever. It's like when people don't come from where you come from, it's like hard for them to understand you, and it's hard for you to understand them. And I don't want to be with no weirdo, and I don't want to be with nobody that's too ghetto, and I don't want to be with nobody in the streets. So it's just like hard to find that medium of somebody that you could just be comfortable with and kick it with. And it's like I keep coming back. It's him. He who I can laugh with. He what makes me comfortable. He who I love. Even though he can't be here with me, he's with me. The things he do for me, no man has ever done for me. I'm talking about financially, just mentally. Like, this man was a straight gangster. He even prayed with me. He used to let me read the Bible to him. Like, because he want to learn and grow, just like I want to learn and grow. And then he teaching me how to respect men in his situation, because I really didn't care for no man in jail. Because I'm like, what you going to do for me? I'm out here living my life. What this man going to do for me? What can he bring to my table? Basically. So, it's like, excuse me, guys. My nose running a little bit. Excuse me, guys, but yeah, so I just learned how to be there for somebody other than myself mentally. And I learned so much from this relationship, just on even how to respect men, because I ain't even gonna lie, before him, I really didn't know how to talk to a man and be there for a man, even though I dealt with men, but I didn't never had nobody that made me feel so loved and so special that I wanted to respect them or change my way of communicating or relating to a person. So this has been a learning experience for me and him. And we have grown so tight, like we can finish each other's sentences, and like, our bond is so strong. And I still face the shame of like really putting people in my business. Like, I don't tell nobody my business. I'm a private person anyway, but with this situation, I'm super private because I know how miserable and judgmental people are, and I know how they'll try to rain on your parade. So this is my first time even expressing or telling my story. That's why it's so hard for me. Like, I'm very nervous and stuff like that, because I'm just that person that just keep my business tight. But I know there's a lot of women going through what I'm going through. I know there's a lot of women out there that fell in love with an inmate. So I just want to open the door for this to be a safe place for you to tell your story, ask questions, get support, leave comments, and just, I want us to come together, because our men need us. As you can see, I'm a black woman, and a lot of our black men even end up in jail or dead on the streets. It's sad, but it's reality. So if you got a good man that you love and you want to be there for him. Love him, support him. And I promise you, if you got a good man, if he's the right man for you, he's going to do the same for you in return. It's going to be a win-win situation. You just got to be patient. You just got to be patient and see if it's worth it to you. In my situation, it's worth it to me. I'm 42 years old. If I don't be with him, I'm not going to be with nobody, because I just completely gave up on love. He helped me open back up and love and just be comfortable as a woman, because I feel like these men, they make you into a man because you gotta be so tough, so strong, and you always gotta be on defense because they playing games. And with him, I don't have to go through that. I can be soft, I can be a woman, I can be calm, I can relax, I can make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I can be me. I can be Ebony. And that's all I ever wanted to do, was be Ebony in a relationship. I don't want to wear all these different hats. I don't want to be the strong, black, independent woman. I don't want none of that no more. I done done that my whole life. Right now, I don't have no problem. If something ain't going right, I call my man. My man makes sure it get done for me. And that's a good place for me. And I feel good about that place. I don't want to be so strong and doing it on my own, and no, I don't want to do none of that. So what I'm doing is sowing. I planted my seed and I'm watching my tree grow. We supposed to get married this year. We getting married in a couple months. Yes, I'm getting married to an inmate in the federal prison. So we're gonna see how that go. I was against that as well. But with all the stuff going on, I'm like, Ebony, who else would you want to marry? You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna take a chance, I'm gonna take a chance with him. It's a big chance, but I'm gonna take that chance. And I'm gonna be updating you guys, letting y'all know different things or whatever. So thanks for listening to my story of how I fell in love with a federal inmate. And if you have a story, let me know, because I want to hear it. Leave it in the comments. If anybody that's in love with a federal inmate feel insecure or don't feel like they doing the right thing, you feel like he gonna play games, leave it in the comments, because it's probably somebody that can help you. Or because every man ain't the same. I know women who men came home for 40 years and they living a good life. You know, they married, they done bought a house, they done bought 2 trucks, they done moved out of the town they was from, they working, they traveling, they living a good life. So it's not about a man being incarcerated that's gonna stop him from being a good man. It's about that man. It's about his heart. It's about his mind. It's about how he feel about you. It's about what he want in life. So that's what you need to know. It's not the jail to make the man a shitball. It's the man that makes himself a shitball. Just like you want to take a chance out here with these men on these streets, you want to have to take a chance with somebody in the jail. It's the same thing. They just in that world and we in this world. And if you don't feel safe, leave it as a friendship. That's what I did. I did that for years. We was just friends, being there for each other. I knew this man since I was 9, 8 years old. I'm 42 now. So, yeah. I just want everybody, whether you in love with an inmate or if you in love with a man on the street, to stay strong. Pick God first, put yourself second, and everything else will fall into place. And if you say your prayers properly, God will reveal who a person is. And if you need to spend some time or leave now, because any relationship you get into is going to be an investment. So, like I said, thank you for listening to my story. Always say your prayers. And just always love yourself. And if you got somebody that you love them too. But don't turn your back on no man just because he no inmate. Or because he in his down season, because you might block your blessing. But anyway, ladies, God bless y'all. Stay strong. And always, always, always pick God first. I will be adding different stories to this, telling you guys some stories of the trials of being in love with an inmate, or just girl talk or whatever. But God bless you guys and have a good day.